Fisher is a somewhat unusual case in that here the appellate court reverses not because there's some error in the instruction or because there is a problem with the evidence that the trial court allowed the jury to hear. This is a straight reversal of the conviction on sufficiency of the evidence. We've seen that a bit before in, an occasional homicide case or a robbery case or something. But here in this case, the court is effectively saying, as a matter of law, the defendant Fisher had the right to defend himself. There had been animosity between Fisher and McLaughlin, and Fisher shows up at this bridge. I mean, this sounds like a very ominous meeting. He shows up at this bridge after having been antagonized by McLaughlin, the victim, McLaughlin who would become the victim. McLaughlin and Fisher show up this bridge to finally settle things, and the defendant Fisher says, I was prepared for a fist fight. The defendant Fisher arrives unarmed, thinking it might come to a fist fight. And then McLaughlin pulls out a gun and shoots him and wounds Fisher and is getting ready to shoot him again. And somehow the defendant Fisher pulls the gun out of his hands. It's like something out of a movie, and begins to pistol whip him. And ultimately then very bad things happen to the victim McLaughlin. And so the question then is, does Fisher have the right to use this force? And the court says yes, that because McLaughlin is there, not with one gun, but with two guns. He's already shot McLaughlin. And even though it might theoretically be possible, you might think, for Fisher to run, even though he doesn't know if McLaughlin has a second gun, and he does. The fact that Fisher has been shot means that Fisher, the defendant, does not have to retreat. There's no duty to retreat once you've been disabled. If you're inside your house, if there's nowhere to safely run, if you're on top of a building, or in this case, if you've been wounded and are unable to safely retreat from your aggressor, then that duty's not there. And so here in this case, when Fisher uses deadly force against a man who has shot him, who has another gun, who seems very willing to shoot him again, there is in the court's mind the view that no reasonable jury could have found this was not self-defense. So this is one of the rare cases where the court finds, as a matter of law, regardless of what the jury came back and said, as a matter of law, these facts are sufficient for self-defense.